Welcome back to SwitchOff South Africa. I'm Nicky Nash, as always, in Park Mission. Change cars at all things motoring. Today, we're doing a comparison. I have the Mitsubishi Triton to my left-hand side, and then I have the Isuzu D-Max on my right-hand side. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about both these vehicles in terms of the exterior look of the vehicle, as you can see, on this side and that side, interior look of the vehicle of both vehicles, overall drive of the vehicle, and most importantly, pricing of the vehicle, because I'm telling you this now in this review, is that this one is newer but cheaper than this one, which is older. But it's up to you guys to decide whether you'd buy this or that. From the exterior, I think you guys can see which one is the more beautiful BAKKIE. But in terms of price, remember, you can get an insurance quote in under 90 seconds through the Naked app. Click the link in the description box below. And yeah, welcome to the review of the double cab Mitsubishi Triton, the double cab Isuzu D-Max. So starting with the exterior look of the vehicle, up front with these two BAKKIEs. So with the Mitsubishi Triton, you get Mitsubishi badging up front here, Mitsubishi lettering over here. So you know the badge, you get the writing over here. You get these lovely LED daytime running lights and LED headlamps. So which also double up as your indicator over here. This is where your indicator is. Up front for me, the Mitsubishi Triton, I'm not really a fan of the look of the vehicle up front. Overall, I think I've even said in the previous generation Mitsubishi Triton reviews that I'm not necessarily a fan of the Mitsubishi Triton, but it has its people. So up front, this is what you get. You get this silver cladding over here. It is okay for the vehicle because this is not the top of the range. This is the GLS model. There's the Athlete and there is the Extreme, where obviously this comes blacked out and all that stuff. So if you wanted something to give you a bit more in terms of off-roadness, extreme, to show that it's tough, you just need to move up the grading of the Mitsubishi Triton. But overall for me, I do like this vehicle up front. I'm not a fan of it up front, but it is okay. Then you come to this side. Yes, I don't want to say too much there, but okay, black grille, but the silver. I think that's where it doesn't match. You can have white, black, then silver. This side, black and white, that's it. Black and white. The silver is here, but the Isuzu badging up front. But you get Isuzu badging here, Isuzu lettering up front here, black grille over there. Also, what I like is these LED headlamps. So this is actually where your indicators are down here. You get your fog lamps, your daytime running lights over there, and then your headlamps over there, which are LEDs, which I really do like. For me, I've always liked the look of an Isuzu, right? And I've always said, because you guys know, I'm not telling you this now, you guys know I'm a big Ford fan. And when you ask me which is the best looking BAKKIE currently in the market, I'd say, there's the Ford, there's the Isuzu, right? But I've been driving this vehicle. The cameraman has been driving this vehicle. And he's been driving behind me. And having this vehicle in your rear view mirror, guys, it's so imposing. For me, I actually really do like this vehicle. Let's move on to the side profile of the Isuzu. So when you move on to the side profile of the vehicle, it's very simple. Isuzu, you get these blacked out alloy wheels. I actually do like the look of it. Like in this white, for me, it works amazingly because you get the black over here, the black up front. So it shows you, you know, when you see a black and a white and black vehicle, it gives off the sportiness of vehicle. That's the vehicle or car. The side profile of the vehicle, and then over here you get your mirror. But this is what I don't like. I would have loved this part not to be this silver mirror type shape or feeling, but I would have loved it to be blacked out. I would have loved it to be blacked out because that black accent moves on to the roof rails at the top, although they're silver. But the dark profileness of this over here, this would have been great because it gives you as well with the wheels and the front. But that's sort of the side profile of the vehicle. Moving on, over here you get your step. I like it, it's in black. Another thing I don't like is this silver matte finish. I would have loved it to be black because everything, give me white and black. Like it actually complements each other. Once you start putting the silver, it starts looking, for lack of a better term, cheap, right? But this is the 45 year, so it comes with this thing as standard, and this thing will fit. I'm not saying this now, ne? I'm still not a fan of a BAKKIE with a canopy, but I've seen this Isuzu with a canopy. It works. There's Raptors, Ford Ranger Raptors, and some mall trucks with this canopy. It works. Would I get it in like a Ford or something? Probably not. And this Isuzu, definitely. This type of Isuzu. The V-Cross, where it comes with that plastic sports bar, I'll keep that sports bar there. but anything lower than a V-Cross, because it doesn't come with that specific sports bar. It comes with like the sports bars that are on the Mitsubishi Triton, which I'll show you guys right now. So I would get this instead of those sports bars. So I actually do like this canopy over here. How it works, there's a button here, you press it, that pops out. This side, you press it, that pops out. This is a Rhino Man canopy, so shout out to Rhino Man. And then it lifts up the side. You should be hearing an echo, yeah. Lifts up the side, also lifts up on the other side. Same thing when you move on to the back. I don't think I need to show you much of this vehicle in terms of the rear end of the vehicle, because you guys have seen an Isuzu on the channel. You've seen how Isuzu look on the road. The only thing I'm not a fan of with the Isuzu is when it comes to the tail lamps at the back, how they are clear tail lamps. They are not covered in terms, they're not like a red covering, they're clear tail lamps, and for me they don't look the best because they're not high grade LED tail lamps. So if they were proper LED tail lamps, maybe they'd look much better, but whatever they're using right now in the Isuzu, I think that's where for me it doesn't work. So now we'll move on to the Triton. Just before we carry on with this review, I've showed you a bit of the Isuzu, I've showed you just a bit of the Triton. Please comment down below right now for you, which one would you take right now? Would you take the Triton or would you take the D-Max? Just comment down below. Very interesting to find out which one you take. For now, well, I think you guys already know what I'm gonna take, so I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, moving on to the Triton, you get these, it's wrapped in like a gunmetal color, the wheels. I actually do like the wheel design, looks good on the Triton. Moving on to the side profile of the vehicle, you get that silver mirror style side mirror. I am okay with it because this is not like the black edition or the extreme. There's no need for this specific Triton to look aggressive, to look, you know, that's why they've kept it. There's a lot of silver, hence the silver runs to the side mirror. Moving on, it also runs to the door handles, so you get keyless start and keyless entry. Same thing on the Isuzu, you get keyless start and keyless entry. We'll speak more about that a bit later. Moves on to the back. When I was telling you guys about the sports bars, right? So this is the sports bars talking about. So if I were to buy a BAKKIE and it came with this type of sports bar, there's a 99.9% chance I'll reach out to Rhino Man and get that type of canopy here. Because now imagine this Triton without those sports bar, but with that Rhino Man canopy. Like it would look, you understand, it would look hard. So there's actually a Triton, I'm just not sure which one it is. Is it the Extreme or the Athlete, where it comes with like a canopy, and the canopy is actually a much better canopy than the one that's on the D-Max. So that Triton, that Triton is hot, guys. It's really, really hot. I'll try my best to get it on the channel and I'll show you what I am speaking about. But moving on, so this one you get the sports bar and a roller shutter. Like any other BAKKIE, it's just okay. When you move on to the back, you get the Mitsubishi badge over there. It writes Triton. Very simple. I like the fact that they don't write the 3-liter turbo diesel like certain BAKKIEs which write the 3-liter. There's no need to tell me my engine capacity. I bought the car, I know how much power it has. So very simple at the back, nothing too fancy. Now let's move on to the interior of these BAKKIEs, and I think that's where we'll get to gauge, we'll see which one is the best in terms of exterior and interior. So for now, for me, it's 1 Isuzu exterior, 0 Triton. Let's hope when we move on to the interior, things will change. But for now, you guys tell me, is it 1 Triton for you or 1 for the D-Max? So when you get into the interior, it is a BAKKIE, so the interior needs to be a bit simple, nothing too fancy. Like, you know, and I'll always mention Ford because I use Ford as a base for a lot of things. So Ford, you get this big touchscreen infotainment system. It's how the world is moving nowadays, that when you get into a vehicle, you get those big screens. There's cars that even have screens on this side. But hopefully BAKKIEs won't get to that point. They'll keep it a bit simple. So over here, you do not get a digital instrument cluster. You do get a digital instrument cluster in terms of the center, but you still get analog dials on the left and the right. The left is your rev counter, the right is your speed. In the middle, you can customize it. It can show you what you need to, what you'd like to see. It can show you from your trip kilometer, your speed, your Apple CarPlay, what you play. So the car does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto through a wired cable. Here is the cable. One thing I actually do like about the vehicle is that up front over here, it has a Type-C port and a USB Type-A port. So if you're still old school, they catered for you. If you're new school like myself, they catered for you too. Then the touchscreen infotainment system, you can see it's a bit of low quality, and because you're used to a lot of bigger screens in some vehicles, Here it looks out of place, especially the fact that it's popping out of the dash. If it was here within the dash, for me it would have been much better. That's with regards to that. You still get physical buttons outside, a physical volume knob, and your tune scroll on the right hand side. Moving down to the lower end of the vehicle, what I actually do like is that you also still get physical buttons for climate control, which can control everything outside of the touchscreen infotainment system. There's BAKKIEs that have in the touchscreen infotainment system. I'm not gonna mention Ford. I'm not gonna mention who it's from. Anyway, that's with regards to the vehicle. Here, get your gear selector down here, your drive mode. You press that button. So I actually do like this graphic that they give you. So over here, when you select your drive mode selector, there's two modes. You have an eco mode and your normal mode. So when you're in eco, it shows you the greenery. When you're in normal mode, it shows you in the city. I'm sure you guys are wondering, where's the sport? Honestly, it's a 2.4 liter turbo diesel BAKKIE. Do you need sport mode? For me, honestly, I think you don't need it, because this car, well, this BAKKIE actually does get going. So if you guys have been in a specific BAKKIE, I'm gonna tell you what BAKKIE I'm talking about. This does look familiar to you, more especially the dials and the steering wheel. So I want you guys to comment, what does this look like? Which BAKKIE? I'm giving you 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds is up, although it doesn't 5 seconds. This BAKKIE looks like a Nissan Navara, so there is a bit of Nissan Navara in between. So there's that Nissan Navara-ness in this BAKKIE. So when I got into this BAKKIE, I'm like, this looks like a Nissan Navara. So I did a bit of research. Mitsubishi and Nissan, for the upcoming Nissan Navara and Triton, they're working together in a technical alliance where the BAKKIE, especially the new Nissan, will be based. The new Nissan Navara will be based on this. So obviously, this BAKKIE has a few things out of the Navara, and the upcoming Navara will have a few things from this BAKKIE into it. It's what I read. Hopefully, it is the truth, because Nissan does need a bit of help in terms of BAKKIE for there to sell. But that's enough about Nissan and Mitsubishi. Moving on to the seats. The seats are just okay, nothing too fancy, more especially because of the car we're comparing this BAKKIE to, which is the D-Max. So now we're in the Isuzu D-Max interior. So the interiors of both these vehicles are a bit dull. There's nothing too wow. So the competition is actually quite tight. Like I brought spec for spec in terms of interior. So it's focusing on this one. You get this leather wrap steering wheel. You also don't get a digital instrument cluster. You just get digital instrument cluster screen in the middle, bit smaller than the one found in the Mitsubishi Triton. And on the left hand side, you get your analog gauge, which is for your rev counter. On the right hand side, which is your speed, which is the exact same as that on that side. Then moving on to your touchscreen infotainment system over here, you see, I'm not 100% sure, but you find that those touchscreen infotainment systems are the same size as that one. But because this one is integrated into the dash, it looks much better and it feels one with the vehicle. It's not like an afterthought of that one where it feels like they just took it and put it here at the top. So I like this layout I like being in the interior of this one. The layout is much better in the Isuzu D-Max. So another thing that you get here that you don't get there, although this is an older one and that's a newer one. See this? This is Apple CarPlay. This is wireless Apple CarPlay. The phone that's kind of connected to it here. So this is wireless Apple CarPlay. You also get a wireless charging over here. You also get it in the Triton. So don't say which Isuzu one, whatever. No, you also get it in the Triton there. Another thing that I actually like about this BAKKIE is that they didn't move too much into putting a lot of features. So you still get your climate control outside the touchscreen infotainment system. So I love that this climate control is outside the touchscreen infotainment system. So there's BAKKIEs out there that the climate control system is within the touchscreen infotainment system Ford. Yeah, so that's with regards to it here. But something that is a standout feature for me in this interior of this D-Max, it has to be the seats. These seats are very good feeling seats. I think they're one of the best seats of being in a BAKKIE, except for the Raptor. But besides the Raptor and the Platinum, but any other BAKKIE within this price range, these seats are, I think, one of the best seats I've been in. And I think when it comes to the interior, I think that's where for me this takes the upper notch compared to that. Like if I take the touchscreen infotainment system and the seats, for me the D-Max wins. But if I take the overall feeling of being in that in terms of the interior, I think that also wins. So I'm gonna say D-Max gets another point, which is 2. That also gets another point. So it's 2-1 for now. Let's go to the drive, because the drive is actually quite interesting. This is a 3-liter 4-cylinder. That's a 2.4 liter. So you'd expect this to have the better drive. But does it have the better drive? So when you move on to that important part of these BAKKIEs, how do they drive these BAKKIEs? Are they good BAKKIEs to live with on a day-to-day driving? how is it on the freeway. So honestly, let's start on the left hand side. You know what you do on the left, you do on the right. So let's start on the left hand side. So this is a 2.4 liter turbo diesel engine which produces 135 kilowatts and 430 newton meters of torque. And for me, the drive of this BAKKIE is amazing. Like, I have no flaws with this BAKKIE. The power delivery, at some point I felt like I'm pushing more than 135. It feels more to the 150. Like, it actually gets going. You put your foot down, there is a bit of lag, but it gets going. This is powered through a 6-speed automatic transmission. For me, I really do love the drive of this vehicle. Over road imperfections, it does tend to bounce a bit more than you'd expect in the Isuzu. Here it bounces a bit more, but overall the drive of the vehicle, it is amazing. The power delivery as well. So in terms of fuel efficiency, I've been averaging 6.9, and 6.9 liters in terms of fuel efficiency in a BAKKIE is something to marvel about. I'll tell you how much I've been averaging on this one, but here I've been averaging 6.9. Overall, the drive of the BAKKIE has been amazing. Power delivery is 1 to 9. So when you move on to the Isuzu D-Max, no favoritism here, because I'm going to tell you the truth in terms of the drive. So this is a 4-cylinder 3-liter turbo diesel engine which produces 140 kilowatts and 450 newton meters of torque through a 6-speed automatic transmission. So for me, the grunt in this vehicle is there. You put your foot down, it's great, you feel it. The grunt is there. But day-to-day driving, highway driving, as much as it is decent enough, it gets the job done on city driving and highway driving. In this instance, because we're comparing it to this one, this is a better vehicle. This is a better vehicle to drive. The gearbox is much quicker in this than this. Here, there's the lag. Even if you put into manual mode and you upshift yourself, you're gonna wait a few seconds, it will change. And it won't change quickly. Whereas in this one, when you take it into manual mode and you upshift yourself, you change it yourself, it will shift quicker, and it also does this kicking feeling as well. When you change it, it feels like it's kicking you. Like, it gives off the sportiness of a vehicle. So this, in terms of the drive of the vehicle, is much better. Here, road imperfections handles it much better than this in terms of road imperfections. This doesn't bounce as much as this. So when it comes to road imperfections, speed humps or whatever, this handles it much better, because that will handle it, don't get me wrong, but it will tend to bounce after handling, whereas this one, it doesn't do the bouncing feeling compared to that one. But overall, when it comes to the drive of the vehicle, for me, the winner is this. In terms of the drive of the vehicle, this is the car that you'd want to drive on every day. You'd prefer to drive this than that. Here, I'm averaging 9.5 liters to the 100. Here, I'm averaging 6.5. Difference, 3 liters the side, 2.4 the side. So I think maybe that's also the reason. But so in terms of the scoring that we're currently doing, remember, it was 2-1 because we're given a point to this one, and this one turns the interior. When it comes to the drive, we're given the points to the Mitsubishi Triton. So it's 2-2. Another thing that I want to point out in terms of both vehicles over here, right? So when you move on to this part of the vehicle, in terms of the engine bay, the engine bay in this one is more squished compared to that one. Don't mind the dirt that's on this one. Obviously, people did off-roading, so the engine bay will be dirty. Plus, it is an older vehicle compared to that one. So everything is a bit tight. So I'm thinking it as a point of a mechanic or whatever you're looking at working at this vehicle. Get into certain bolts. You see, just my hand alone is already touching the engine cover and everything here. So I'll have to remove the engine cover. So everything is a bit more complex. Then over here, that's where the exhaust of this D-Max is. The exhaust is over there. Come, I'll show you something else. When you come to this one, yes, it is a newer vehicle. Yes, it does look better, right? But that space I was showing you there, over here, is a bit bigger. Easily, my hand, without even having to remove the engine cover, I can reach out to the engine. The exhaust is this side, so I can reach out to the engine. It's a bit more easier to work around. So I like the engine bay of this one over that one. Should we give it a point, guys? Another point. Okay, hey, we're just giving 3 points now. Let's move on to the end segment in terms of pricing, because price is very interesting of these vehicles. Let's see which one sounds better. Okay. Give me a second. I will Isuzu. There we go. Aye. The winner here, because you hear that one. This the winner here. And not okay, no more points. No more points. Let's go to the pricing of the vehicle and my recommendation on which one to choose. Because as much as you guys know I love this one, would I pick this one? Find out at the end of the review. So we're at that important part of the review, the pricing of this vehicle. So the price difference between these two vehicles is 150,000 rand. This one that I'm sitting on, this is the Mitsubishi Triton. The Mitsubishi Triton, this specific one, is priced at 760,000 rand. That big daddy that side is priced at 910,000 rand. Correct pricing on the screen, I rounded up, I think it's 906,000 rand. It is a lot of money. There's a lot of money in between the two vehicles. But before I actually speak about recommendation, remember, if you're looking for insurance code, you can get insurance code in under 90 seconds through the Naked app. Click the link in the description box below and get your insurance code for either this big daddy, this Mitsubishi Triton, or the car that you currently have in your garage, or the phone you're currently using to watch this, or the TV you're using to watch this very same review. So remember, the link in the description box below, I'd appreciate it. Click that link, get your insurance code, and yeah. So if you take both these vehicles to the Change Cars Vehicle Finance Calculator, starting with the Mitsubishi Triton, if you finance it over a period of 5 years, which is 60 months, and an interest rate of 12.25%, you're looking at paying the amount that's on the screen. If you take that big boy, you're looking at paying the amount on the screen. I actually have no idea between the two amounts, so the price jump between the two. I'll put that up in edit. But the price difference between the two is rounded up 150,000 rand. And it comes to a point where, as much as I love this vehicle, it looks much better for me. It looks much better than this, but it doesn't justify paying 150,000 rand more than this one. Even if I were to take the top specification Mitsubishi Triton, top, I think it's the extreme. The top is priced at 890,000 rand. So it's still 16,000 rand cheaper than this. And above this, there's a V-Cross, which is, I'll put the pricing of the V-Cross on the screen. I'm sure it's around 950. So the Mitsubishi is cheaper than the Isuzu in every way. In every way, it's cheaper. For me, does it make sense, the 150? 100% no. So would I buy this? Nope. Honestly speaking, compared to this, even if this was alone, 906,000 rand is a lot of money for me to pay on this, when there's BAKKIEs like this that exist, and there's obviously other BAKKIEs that also exist. So if you're to point a gun to my head and say choose between the two, honestly, I might just take the Triton. You know why? I take it as is, remove the roller shutter, remove that sports bar, go to Rhino Man, get this canopy, put it here, and then you will see that, you know what, this is actually a good looking BAKKIE. So I'll just take that, black out all the silver. So all the silver, make it black, the Triton badging in black, the Mitsubishi badging over there in black, and then you'll see that, you know what, this Triton is actually a better vehicle than this because of the price. But if the prices were the same, you know it won't be the same. I'd obviously take that. Tell me where you guys would take it. And this is where the Triton surprisingly actually wins, because in terms of recommendation, we give in terms of price, we give a point to the Triton. So the Triton has 3, the Isuzu has 2, unfortunately. So in this BAKKIE comparison that I just did, the Triton wins overall. It is the better BAKKIE between the two. If you guys disagree, comment down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Would you spend the extra 150,000 rand on this? There's people out there that would do that, and I won't judge you. It is okay. If you love the Isuzu, talking about longevity, all those type of things, you know what you guys would say. So tell me down below what you'd get, either the Isuzu or the Mitsubishi Triton. But for this review and for this comparison, Isuzu, as much as they're beautiful, I'm taking the Triton. So see you guys in the next one. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We're on the road to 150,000 subscribers. No, we're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. And that 150,000 subscribers, we'll get there. But we're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Let's get there. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one in Park Operation Change Cars and all things motoring. If you're looking for insurance for your 2 beautiful BAKKIEs, your phone that you guys are currently watching there's a review on, or the TV, remember, you can get insurance code in under 90 seconds through Naked. Click the link in the description box below. I'll see you guys on the next video. I actually have no idea what the next video is, but it might be a cool video, so you never know. Keep it locked to the channel. See you guys on the next one.